UFC 294 is so close, and with these card changes, I cannot wait to break down this fight. This is going to be my breakdown and prediction for Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski 2, the rematch. Hear what I have to say, and I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Afterwards, we're going to get into the video in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's start with the tail of the tape. I cannot believe this is happening, man. Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski 2. I'm so excited for this fight. So, guys, honestly, we all know what's going on with both these guys. Islam Makhachev has had an absolute perfect run throughout his UFC career so far, looking good and looking better in every single fight. The guy to beat Charles Oliveira, to be honest, I thought Charles Oliveira was going to be the guy to beat a guy like Islam Makhachev. I really, really did. But I will say, I believe Alexander Volkanovski won this fight. I really, really do. So, in my opinion, Islam Makhachev is coming off of a loss, and that's why I'm so excited for this fight, because Alexander Volkanovski is like it's a chance at redemption, but I just can't see it happening, man. But Alexander Volkanovski, of course, even more dominant than Islam Makhachev, to be honest with you. The only loss in his career coming to Islam Makhachev, but again, I believe that he won this fight and then bounced back with an amazing win against Yair Rodriguez. So that's something to note, is Islam Makhachev hasn't fought since I believe it was February against Alexander Volkanovski. And Alexander Volkanovski just 3 months ago put an absolute beating on Yair Rodriguez. Other than that, Volkanovski's getting up there in age and 35 years old. Now, it's important to note that, of course, we all know Father Time is undefeated, and I believe Alexander Volkanovski's time is coming. The thing is, I don't know if that time is now, because there's a couple other things that we're going to talk about regarding Alexander Volkanovski's health, but he looked so good and so dominant against Yair Rodriguez. I can't say that him at 35 years old, it's really going to catch up with him now. Now, Islam Makhachev, 32 years old. He just turned 32 years old, excuse me. He is starting to exit his prime, but I have no reason to believe that he's not going to be in tip-top shape. You know, he's been training with Cain Velasquez. Khabib came back for this camp, which is very, very good to see for Islam Makhachev. So, regardless, it is a very, very good fight, and it's shocking to me that Alexander Volkanovski, who looks so undersized, has a 1-inch reach advantage. Isn't that nuts? Other than that, everything's looking good. Everything we've seen this fight before. Let's talk about what happens when these two actually match up. So, of course, guys, the elephant in the room here is that Alexander Volkanovski is taking this fight on 11 days' notice. I have a very difficult time seeing that Alexander Volkanovski would be training hard and being ready for a fight, because, of course, we all know he's just coming off of hand surgery. I don't know exactly what the recovery time is, but of course he's probably okay. But you got to think about it. What if he just wants a shot at the belt again? What if this is like his fast track to Islam Makhachev again? Maybe his hand's not okay. He seems like the type of guy to, I will fight through it. You know what I mean? So we could very well see his hand break or something along the lines in this fight. But other than that, man, if for training-wise, Alexander Volkanovski is pretty much coming off the couch, and Islam Makhachev is training probably the hardest that he's ever trained in his life for the rematch against Charles Oliveira. Like I said, Cain Velasquez and Khabib are now in the gym training with him. So like that is really, really preparing him for another step up. But we've already seen this fight come about, right? We saw Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski have like a very, very crisp striking battle. Both guys ended up having their own moments, but I would imagine that Islam Makhachev, with all the training, will be a lot more crisper, perhaps more powerful. I don't even know if Alexander Volkanovski will have the same cardio that he typically does, because both guys were really, really pushing themselves to the limit. Now, Islam Makhachev, when he went for the takedowns, he found himself successful, but Alexander Volkanovski did stuff his fair share, and Alexander Volkanovski did end up really, really fighting to get back up, right? And then he sometimes succeeded. Sometimes Islam Makhachev ended up keeping him on the ground. So the whole point was, it was such a back and forth battle, and they were so evenly matched. While I did think Alexander Volkanovski took the first fight, I only have reason to believe that Islam Makhachev will be better and Alexander Volkanovski will be worse, right? Islam Makhachev obviously wants to improve against, since this fight with Alexander Volkanovski, he almost lost his belt. So he's really got to train hard, especially for Charles Oliveira, who just steamrolled Beneil Dariush, coming up wanting to get that belt back. I gotta believe Islam Makhachev's going to do it. Now, here's where I'm stuck. I was saying the same stuff, essentially, the first fight around, but it was more so, well, Alexander Volkanovski, while he's great, he's undersized, and Islam Makhachev's so dominant, the guy who's the second, I don't want to say the second coming of Khabib, because he's his own personality, he's his own fighter. I'm saying skill level. People are comparing this guy to Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? How can Alexander Volkanovski possibly beat this guy? He's going to be so undersized, he might be weaker, but then he came in there, and I was literally I was watching the fight with my brother. I was like, dude, you are an idiot if you think Alexander Volkanovski's going to win this fight. And then, in my opinion, he won the fight. I was shocked watching Alexander Volkanovski outmuscle Islam Makhachev. I was shocked watching him knock Islam Makhachev down. But I That's the only thing that I'm stuck on, because I was saying the same stuff where it's like Alexander Volkanovski has no chance. And then he went out and proved me wrong. What if he does that again? But I still am going to bet against Alexander Volkanovski in this fight. As much as I want to see him win, Islam Makhachev, he's probably going to be too crisp, too good. He's been training really hard, and he has more time. If you want to talk about the whole weight issues, he has more time with his weight this time. I don't know. I'm not going to get into all of that. It's just like throwing it out there. Everything is in Islam Makhachev's favor to win this fight, okay? Everything is in his favor to win this fight, and I got to pick Islam Makhachev to win, guys. Let me know what you think about this down below. Let me know who you will be picking to win this fight, and who do you want to win? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. On the screen right now, you'll have 2 videos on the screen if you want to continue watching the Clenbat channel. I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.